I'm about to share with you 4 ways to increase your cash flow by increasing your people flow. Now, when you increase your people flow, you are also increasing your opportunity flow. By speaking with multiple people on a daily basis and increasing your overall network, you are then increasing the amount of opportunities that you have, that you're presented with, that you can then act on to then make more money. Right? So I'm about to jump into this video covering these 4 ways that I recommend that you look into. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first strategy is networking with people inside Facebook. The times have changed, right? And nowadays it's all about networking online. Like, I used to go to so many networking events here in my local town, and I was limited to local talent. I had to drive places. I actually had to spend money to, $25, $50 to actually buy my meal or participate in that networking event. I could only talk with so many people during that 2-hour, 3-hour window of an event. And it was just, again, I was limited to the local talent. It was not a really good way. So now we have this amazing thing called the internet, and so many people are inside Facebook and networking and using Facebook as a networking tool. So if you are not in on the fun, I highly recommend that you jump into the many different Facebook groups that are out there. And all you got to do is jump into a Facebook group, see who's posting in there, start commenting, answering their questions, reach out to them, shoot them a private message, add them as a friend, start chatting them up. Maybe book a call with them, start talking with them, seeing what they got going on, what their business is about, and then see how you can bring them value. There is a lot of networking that you can do on Facebook, and you never know what this networking will lead to. It could lead to them referring you clients. It could lead to joint ventures where you're doing a profit sharing type of deal, or you're doing an affiliate type deal with them and you're making money from something good that they already have going. Could lead to an equity deal, or it could lead to them actually hiring you as a contractor. So a lot of potential opportunity is there just by networking inside Facebook. So I highly recommend you to spend at least an hour a day going through Facebook groups, joining different Facebook groups, reaching out to people. And you got to also know that many times when you talk to these people, they're going to turn you down, right? They're not going to want to talk to you. They're going to think that you're trying to sell them something, and whatever, move on to the next person, right? Another thing that's going to happen is that you're going to talk with these people on the phone, and it's going to seem really promising, and you're probably going to get your hopes up, and you're going to feel really excited about what could potentially go on with this person. But you have to keep in mind that a lot of things fall through. A lot of people are just talk. So you need to remember that even though this person sounds incredibly great and they're promising you the world, that you got to have those reservations in the back of your head thinking, okay, this whole deal could fall through. I have had so many deals, so many potential opportunities that have just completely fallen through, even though they look like a 100% sure thing. So always keep that in mind. Don't get your hopes up extremely high before you even have a reason to get your hopes up extremely high. Just stay conservative and look through those deals and make sure you have all your bases covered. The second way to increase your people flow is by creating content. So a really great way to create new, fresh content and knock out the networking aspect is to interview people that are successful and get them on video, get them on your podcast. Just hit them up and record the conversation, telling them that you're recording it and that you're going to create this powerful blog post or this whatever piece of content, right? And you're going to pick their brain, and then that way they're going to get some free exposure out of it, and you're going to get the relationship building side of things, and you're going to get some free valuable content that you can market around, right? They may tell you some really powerful information that is now recorded, and you can now use, cut up that little minute or 2 minutes out of that full length piece of content and then market that around on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, in all the different places. You can now use that as your content. Plus, you got the added credibility factor. So if you are interviewing somebody highly credible, like somebody that's got a 7-figure business or they're just killing it, right? Then you now have the appearance that you are kind of somewhat on their same level because you're on camera with them. You're now associated with them. So that's going to make you look more credible, make you look more trustworthy, which can then allow you to demand a higher price, can lead to so much more opportunities, get you more followers. You can leverage their actual follow base because their followers, let's say that you interviewed Grant Cardone or Gary Vee or one of the big timers, right? You're not going to get that lucky, but let's just say hypothetically, you were able to interview somebody that big, right? You can then run an ad with that piece of content targeting their audience. And maybe even a small timer, you can target their audience with an ad, and then you can get a bunch of their followers to then follow you because now they're introduced to you because they initially started watching that because of their influencer that they follow right there. So there's a lot of advantages to interviewing other influencers, interviewing other content creators, other people that are just successful and established. So I highly recommend that you reach out to people and start interviewing people, talking to them. And that also gets you a really great excuse to get them on the phone because they're getting value, you're getting value. It's an all-around win-win. Strategy number 3, invite people to book a call with you. So when you're creating content, maybe it's the content that you create by yourself and you're not interviewing somebody, or maybe it is even content that you are interviewing somebody, have your call to action be to visit your website or to actually book a call with you. So when you start to get your audience, your followers on the phone, now you can figure out what they like, what they don't like. That can lead to more inspiration for more new content, or you can actually ask them, hey, can I go ahead and record this call? I'm going to create some content right now. You can then record the call of them asking you questions, picking your brain, and now you got a piece of content that you can put online. Gary Vaynerchuk is always doing this. If you've seen Ask Gary V at all or any of his content, the dude is constantly having his Q&As be content that he puts out on his YouTube channel, on his Instagram. And by the way, the dude is almost at like 2 million subscribers on YouTube. So obviously he is doing something very, very right. So I highly recommend invite people to reach out to you, to book calls with you, to engage with you, to, and be okay with giving them your time. This is probably the hardest part. And this is something that I definitely struggle with because I'm super busy already as it is. So for me to pick up the phone and spend 15 to 30 minutes with somebody out of my day, which is somebody that I know is not going to turn into a client, I know is not going to pay me, they could potentially refer me business, but to get value from my side of communicating with them and giving them free advice, if I can record that and have it as content to then use on my YouTube channel, in my email, in my messenger blast, have some really powerful content of me giving them advice and free information, now it's valuable for me to actually spend the time and communicate with them on the phone. So do something just like this and you'll see some great benefits from it. Strategy number 4 for increasing your people flow, which then leads to increasing your opportunity flow, is going to conferences, events, masterminds, things like that is going to open the door, open you up to people that are just like you, people that are higher than you, people of all different kinds. Like me, for example, I never ever do this, but I took a leap and I'm actually going to the 10X Growth Con. If you know anything about Grant Cardone, he puts on this massive event yearly now. I mean, this is the 3rd one, but it's a 10X Growth Con. It's down in Miami. I'm over here in Orlando, Florida, so it wasn't that big of a expense for me to just drive down to Miami. I think all in, I spent about $1,000. And I guarantee you from this conference, I am going to make one connection, at least one connection that is going to either pay me more than $1,000 or is going to refer other business to me. So hands down, I'm 100% confident that I'm going to come out of this event positive ROI. And usually that's the case, whether it's you get an immediate return within that year of getting your money paid back from these events, masterminds, conferences, things like that, or it's going to be a long-term return and you're going to get your money back over leveraging that knowledge that you just got from that conference, that mastermind, or a connection that you maybe met at that time, or maybe even just creating content from that event. Now you have assets and tools out there in the internet, people watching that are searching 10X Growth Con and they come across your content. There are so many different ways that you can leverage going to conferences, masterminds, events, content, networking with people, asking for referrals, getting your name out there, shaking hands and kissing babies, right? There are so many different ways that you can do this. So I highly recommend that you at least go to local conferences, bootstrap it, go to nearby masterminds, cheap events, right? Ways that you can rub shoulders with people. And then you never know, if you meet somebody at that event and you can create content with them, you can then interview them, you can add them as a friend on Facebook. Maybe they have a group that's coming up. All these different ways play into each other. So I hope that you at least leverage one of these strategies that I'm giving you. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.